Hello everyone. I hope I'm audible. We can start in like 2 minutes. So we can go through documentation today, and I haven't really explored this much. I've seen some tweets and like random articles, but haven't really went through documentation before. So it's pretty new. Hello everyone. Hey Gautam. Hey Pooja. Hey Nishal. Hi Pranay. Lots of people. Hello everyone. We can just go through documentation once, and then we can maybe set up a project and play around things. So how's everyone doing? Hey, Vipul. Hi, Yash. I think we can start. Let me just mute this. Yep, we can start. So I guess first thing I want to do is just go through documentation. Haven't been through documentation yet. The website looks pretty. When the first page explains a lot. So yep, we can get started. So I guess first, I checked the website yesterday. I didn't read much, but I guess one thing I was confused about was why is the navigation so fast? So I just want to, before like we begin learning, I'm just curious, how is this navigation so quick? Let me just see. Is it like because cache, CDN cache? So there's this JSON data that they request. I'm not sure why it is JSON though. Is it how Next.js does that as well? So Next.js is this Next.js documentation? Yeah, it is. Hey everyone. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why is the routing so fast in Remix, because I've seen Next.js routing and it's good, but it does lag sometimes. So I'm not sure how that works yet. That's interesting. I don't see any document request here. It's fetch. This is Sentry. These are SVGs. So is it all client side? But then how is it server side rendered? I don't think so. Remakes fetches on hover. Okay, yeah, it does. It did fetch something, but I guess next year's, or like I'm not sure about next year's particularly, but most of the SSRs, SSGs, they do that where they'll just start fetching page when you hover over the link. So basically, that time gap between you hovering over a link and then you clicking that link, in that time gap, a lot of times the page is already loaded, so the navigation feels quick. I'm not sure if I understand this. So I'm just probably going to skip this and we can like read about this later. I should be going through documentation before like doing all this hackerman stuff. Yeah. Anyway, let's read documentation like a good boy. Let's start from the home page. All right. So I'm just very impatient, so I'm probably just gonna go and try to look for code examples. So I see one code example here. Um, It's projects. This is JSX, cool. So this is something that I guess we're familiar with if we're coming from React. Use transition, use loader state. This looks familiar as well. Just the whole use syntax. So I'm guessing it's state. These are like different hooks. We can go and read about this. I'm just trying to interpret what this code means without really going to documentation. So we have project set map, just the JSX stuff. I um, I haven't like read about this a lot, but I guess I saw somewhere saw in tweet somewhere that form is interesting thing in Remix. It works like the way used to work with HTML, where you can just method post it and things just work fine. So I'm actually excited to see it. I want to see if it reloads the page because HTML used to reload the page, and I'm guessing if we are building something like fancy things, we probably would not want it to reload. So we can check this out. Um, there are this website is it looks pretty good. Remix has a cheat code, nested routes. I can try this. Mhm. Oh, how am I supposed to type it? Oh, this is cool. Websites usually have levels of navigation that controls child views. Not only there are components coupled to URL segment. There are also semantic boundaries of hover or tap the buttons to see how they're all related. Oh, which buttons? These buttons. So it's root, sales. Okay, okay. Now this makes sense. So we have a root component and it is fetching user.json. That makes sense. Then we have sales, which is fetching nav.js. Okay, so your data fetch logic seems to be this is how it has been like with React. Not sure. Through the nested routes, Remix can eliminate nearly every loading state. I doubt if I understand these things. Probably like allowed to go through documentation. Side of the components creating request waterfalls, slower loads in Jank. Remix loads data in the parallel on server and sends it fully formed HTML document. Way faster Jank free. Okay, so this is with Remix. With Remix, it fetch the document first, so it will be the first request. I'm guessing it's HTML. Then we have root.js. Root.js will be. This is interesting. So Okay, I understood now. So generally, when we use React, our fetch logic will probably go inside the component, and it will initiate on use effect of that component. I'm not sure if I'm right, but this is what it seems like. Whereas with Remix, it's just somehow knows that it needs that data. We'll probably understand this in details. This is good. Okay, loading screens allow Remix to make your app as fast as instant. I'm still not sure if I understand what nested routes mean. We'll probably understand it in documentation. Like simply fetch everything in parallel before the user clicks a link. Okay, this looks like something that you're talking about, Yash. It prefetches it prefetches things in parallel before the user clicks a link. Then we have zero loading states, zero skeleton UI. Okay, this makes sense. Data loading. Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand theory a lot. I'll probably have to like try out and see what it means. This is too much of information. I'm probably gonna skip into the code. So we have transition here. This makes sense. Something that whoop. This is good. Your websites run into problems better than me. And that's why this is nice. What happens when you scan QR code? I'll try that later. Root error boundaries. Keep the happy path happy. Error boundaries. Okay, understand this. It's probably enough for now. Is go play the same link as documentation? Let's just start from get started only. So yeah, read the docs, get started. This one seems like a tutorial. Let's read the docs. Let me just see comments. Hi Pragun. Nexus doesn't do that. That's interesting. If there is no loading spinner or skeleton UI, then how does it benefit using Remix? Besides making it looks fast, uh, no loading spinner or skeleton UI, then how does it benefit using Remix? I'm not sure if I understood your question, Shajib. We'll see. Like we'll read more about its how it is fetching things and all. This is getting started. We'll we'll try out code once, which is the next page. Quick start. I just want to like go through documentation once so that I'm a bit familiar with the code when I see it. So overall, it looks like very familiar because it's JSX, so something that we know from React, and even the state management seems like hooked like. Um, so yeah, sounds similar. We have used loader data. This is cool. So export let loader. Okay, are these default things? These variables seems like they're default because I'm not sure how it is working. We'll probably understand when we do the code. Let's actually go into code only. I'm not sure if I'm understanding from docs. Just going through this navigation bar to see if I can read something before we start. So we have accessibility guide, API routes, deployment. This is nice. Philosophy, read philosophy. Yep. Anyway, let's just. Um, I guess there is a Stack Blitz starter as well. I think I've seen some posts, but actually it's better to just set things up locally. I guess again, I'm just more comfortable exploring things locally. But yeah, I guess if someone wants to like try it out right now, I guess there is this Stack Blitz container to run Remix. I'll, so I just took this code, create Remix, nice, and this should do the setup. This is just empty repository. Running it here. Hello everyone. Hi, hi. Oh, this is fancy. Okay. Where would you like to create your React app? This seems fine. Where do you want to deploy? Choose Remix if you're unsure. It's easy to change deployment targets. This is interesting. It is asking for deployment target initiation. That's nice. Okay, yeah, this is cool. So there is Cloudflare workers option I see. So I'm guessing it we can just do all the things in Cloudflare workers, or is it limited? We can check that out. So it said choose remix if you're unsure. I am unsure, so let's just go with remix. TypeScript, JavaScript. I will go with JavaScript. Sorry, people. It just it'll be easier with JavaScript for now. Do you want to run npm install? Yes. Okay, now we wait. Just open a new tab and type remix.new. You can try this out as well. Yeah, sorry, don't hate me. Choose JavaScript over TypeScript. This is nice. I like using Stack Blitz normally. It just gets you things set up pretty quick. Okay, this is done. So we can try this out. I hope my VS Code is visible as well. Why not TypeScript? So I'm not yet fully comfortable with TypeScript. Like I use it in work, but there might be few things that I'm missing. So if I'm learning new things, I just choose JavaScript so that there won't be too many new things for me. Um, TypeScript is like we use it at work, so we can like, try that later. But just something JavaScript should be enough to get us familiar. Okay, so I'm just jumping into code now. We want to see pack scripts first. So we have build script, which is remix of build. We remix build. We have dev script, remix dev. So apparently all these scripts are provided by Remix only. We have dependencies. Okay, this is interesting. I didn't know about React. So is Remix more of a Next.js equivalent? Okay, wait, this is new for me because I've been assuming that Remix is like React equivalent. Okay, new things. So we have React, React DOM. So apparently we're just using React and it's a different build system. That makes sense. That's nice actually because then we don't have to do a lot of new things. And we have Remix run React, Remix run serve. Yep, built on React, looks like it. And we have Remix. This is nice. Like I like this naming. We generally have like otherwise a lot of dev dependencies with ESLint and all. So it seems like we just packed it inside one npm package. Okay, we can go to the entry points now. So yep, we have this app and entry.server, entry.client. This is nice, very explanatory. So I'm guessing root.jsx comes first, and then we have entry server, entry client, or do we import root here? Okay, let me see which is root and what is this entry things. So entry file seems like normal. We have rendered a string in server. So we have the string initially. This will this will render on server, I'm guessing, and then it will just respond it. The markup is here. Okay, this makes sense. And then we have client where we hydrate things. This is nice. The hydrate from React DOM is working directly. Even render to string is from React DOM server. Nice. And we have remix server here. This is new. Remix server context. Okay, this is new. An entry point for a remix app when it is rendered on server. This component is used to generate HTML in the response from server. Okay, this is like a nice helper component for us for generating HTML content. Yep. So entry.client, entry.server seem like normal. This is something that will be similar with React setup as well. There are just in entry server we have this remix server as a helper function for generating HTML, and here we have remix browser. Nice. So yeah, probably these two things are doing something magic for remix. I'm just confused about this root.js. This looks like a big file. Alright, so we create links and we export links. And we export app, we export error boundaries. These look like named exports, so I'm guessing they already have some meaning in the remix. So I doubt if this will work if I just change the links. Okay, this is nice. They have documentation links here, which is for not found. Interesting. Yeah. If anyone wants to contribute to remix, you can maybe just go and fix this. You can check this one. Yep. Default exports. So we have app default export. Okay. So the app is our actual application, and this document, is it coming from Remix? Is it coming from? It's not coming from Remix. It's some local thing. So in document we have HTML. This is nice. We have control over all these things. So it doesn't look very it doesn't look like very new thing. We have head body. So I can probably put my other meta tags here. Yep. These look like components that are coming from here. And we have layout, which has class name remix app. This is something that we'll understand when we actually run the server. We can like play around things there. I like this catch boundary. There are error boundaries by default in the create remix app only. So we'll have control over this as well. So if you want to send things to Sentry, I'm guessing we just have to add some code here and it should work. We have status codes here. So yeah, I guess um, when I was reading about remix on Twitter or just some like other, I guess there was a YouTube video as well initially when remix was new, that they're trying to keep it close to the base web. So this looks like a nice thing to have just all the status codes here. So I'm guessing I can just add case 500 here and I can just capture all my server broke. So internal server errors. Copilot. Thank Copilot. This makes sense. So um, we just export from root here. Are we importing root anywhere? I'm just going to quick search root. No, we're not importing that root anywhere. So it seems like it's something that Remix handles. You just have to export these names and probably Remix takes care of handling. So nice. So this catch boundary things are Remix defaults as well. That renders whenever an action or loader throws a response. Is in the code part. Let's start the server now. We've explored this enough. How to start the server? Build dev looks like the one. What is start? This looks like something that you would use to test. Finally, let's start dev. Oh, this was quick. Why was it this quick? Do they use like some ES build stuff, or is it Webpack? Just checking if they have Webpack. It's a Webpack. Let's the Babel will be there, I guess. Can I take read? That's interesting. I'm not sure why this was so fast. I'm not used to things running this fast, especially when it's SSR. So that's a nice thing. You just go through comments once. Check talks. Yep. Okay, cool. So we have this thing running. I can go to root.js. It's probably coming from here. Let me just change this to Sora. Yep, this was quick. This is very fast. Nice. We have remix logo. So this one. All right. So we have the idea of what these three files are. Um, so root is something that looks like Remix's default, where you just export things, and Remix takes care of handling these links or handling this default export of app. It has error boundary and all those things. So it's something that Remix understands. Then we have entry server, entry client. So entry server will be called first when the request comes. Render to string, it's React's render to string. It takes the React HTML, the React element, and it converts it into a HTML string. So this is something that we use in while doing SSR. So probably Next.js does this as well. It's nice that they have kept it like it's not abstracted out. So I like that we have control over render to strings. So even if I want to, let's say, add some server-side caching, I can just write that code here and return from here. So it's not abstracted out. It doesn't look like magic to me. It's something that is more understandable. So this is nice. We have render to string. We set response headers, the good old web, and just respond with markup, status code, and headers. This is cool. We have lots of control over server, so it's like most of the things make sense when I see it first. So, for example, even this remix server, this is the only thing that looks like that is coming from remix, and it's understandable that they're probably doing something here to maybe like make things fast or just make it work. Then we have client. Again, hydrate is coming from React DOM, so it's not abstracted out. Um, so I do get to see the final code here, and we pass document. Okay, this is client, so it has the access to document. And remix.browser only comes from remix and seems to be doing some things which I don't really have to care about. Remix is probably going to handle it. So key files make sense. We have styles. I think styles were used here. Okay, this is also interesting. We import styles. So we have global CSS, dark CSS, and this is okay. This also makes sense. So it just goes into head with the meta rel style sheet and href as this, and again this one as well. So it's medium. So I like that they're not abstracting out a lot of things. It's very we have a lot of control on server and what you want to respond and if you want to do something before responding. So that's nice. I actually have one doubt now about this is how styles work for if you want to return them from the root document. Will we have option of importing styles inside React component? That is something that I'm not sure about. Okay, I see demo about.cs. We'll see the code. So we have this routes folder here. Okay, so we have routes folder here. So I'm just making a guess that I can do routes, not routes. What is the folder name? Demos. Nope, bad guess. Okay, demos about. Let's try demos about. I should read through things properly first before trying this. Okay, this worked. Nice. So I don't see any routes.ts file here. That means it is handling things the way Next.js handles, where your routes are decided by how you structure your folders. So this also makes sense. We'll go through this first. Let's check out about. Custom server, which I doubt uses ESBuild. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't check ESBuild. I just checked, I guess, Webpack. Yep, right. It uses ESBuild. Cool. So they're using ESBuild directly without Vite or Snowpack. That's interesting. So cool. And that's what we have inside Remix run dev. So dev package is doing all these things. That makes sense as well. Nice. Thanks, Yash. I think I checked just Vite or Snowpack. I wasn't expecting them to use ESBuild directly. That's cool. So we have about now. This about looks like that's a terrible UI colors choice, but yeah, let's go with this. Um, okay, this looks expected. What I wanted to see was oh, there are two routes. There is one about and one war. This didn't work. Okay, this is 404 as well. Again, if anyone wants to contribute, go contribute into create remix. Oh, it's about war. Yeah, that did I just try demo slash about? Ah, yep, it's about war. Thanks, Shubham. Okay, this also makes sense. Um, so where are these tiles coming from? That I don't understand. We have this yellow color over here. Okay, one second. There is about directory, and then there's about .jsx. And about that GSX is something that I think returns. Wait a second, then what was inside this? Oops, my bad. Understood. So it's taking, you're looking at the index route. This part is about, this part is coming from about. Okay, so the route was because of this about file and not really because of this about file. And looks like, do we import it inside about? Okay, so is this what they mean by nested routing? Yeah, outlet. Okay, let's check this file first. Again, same similar format as root. Looks like we're exporting links and we export the um, export default component, and that becomes the page. This is nice that this file and root is similar syntax. You don't have to learn new things. So my doubt that I had initially whether we can import CSS files inside React component. Um, so even the CSS file is page level. So I'm not sure if we still have that option to import inside React component the way we do it in React. Also, like how will the CSS and JS stuff will work with this? Then we have actions. Actions is also returning some default function, so we can try actions route. That's a lot of code inside initial the initial scaffold. They have like this mentioned here. So we have demos, actions, post and action. Okay, this looks like the form part. This is interesting. So we have form here, and we give it a class name remix form. Is this because we have it CSS somewhere? Yeah, we have CSS for this. Um, okay, this looks like our HTML form where we have form, which is probably coming from remix. Yep. And then we have method, person action, and then we have label and input with name. So I'm guessing this name becomes the data that we send. Button answer, this becomes the submit button. Let's try this. I'm just going to open my network tab to see what it is doing. What is more useful when it is broken? You can just type anything. It give bad request. It sent answer here. Why did it give bad request? Okay, is it because the answer was wrong? I'm just not used to these accurate status codes. Generally, we just send 200 everywhere. What is more useful when it is not broken? Can I cheat and just see the answer somewhere? So we have the method post here, but where is it posting it? Okay, we can check this action message. It comes from use action data, which comes from Remix. Okay. So use action data is something that I'm guessing is called when you do something. Then we have additional resources. Okay, I'm not understanding where this form is posting data. So we can see the link here. It sends to actions, data equal routes, demos actions. So is it sending it to itself? It looks like it is sending it to itself. And if there is an action message somewhere, outlet component, maybe at the end of the file. No, I don't see anything at the end of the file. So I'm making a guess that if we don't have any action equals some, okay, there is this prop, so we can probably do that. But I'm guessing if we don't have any action, then it is sending it to itself. So the data, it is supposed to have answer key. Then we have correct here. Let's see, where is this answer key mentioned? Okay, we seem to be getting answer here. I'm just going to add console log and we can see. Um, nope, it didn't come here. Okay, this is the right answer, egg. So if I put egg, then it will work. And here we set status 400. Why did it answer? Oh, wait a second. This is server. So yep, it is coming on server. My bad. Yeah. Hi Tanvesh. Okay, so yep, the I forgot how SSR works. So this console log is on server, so it logged things here. Then we just get the data. So yep, that assumption was probably correct. That if you don't have action, it is submitting it to itself, and then what is this? Let action. This also seems like something that Remix understands internally. So we just get the request parameter here and we can do things with it. So here we are trying to, here we change the message. Can I just do some mess here? It did give 404 now. It did give 404. Nice. And I can put egg, which is the correct answer, and fair. Okay, I want to see how the redirection work now. Okay, this one, redirect to correct. Redirect is coming from Remix. That makes sense. Nice. Cool. Yeah, that is understandable. This is how it reminds me PHP. I didn't work on PHP much, but yep, it reminds me of that the overall structure where we could just send form with the method and it'll work. I also like this one thing that this form, the HTML form would reload the data in this case, but Remix looks like it is. This is probably not just the HTML form. They're doing some things here, so they're they're handling that. It's not reloading the data. It looks like how you would build normal application, the client side applications. Also, like this status codes, proper status codes. So we understand the actions page now. But he said, but is a 404 error the correct way to do this? It's not. Okay, 400. Maybe bad request. I don't know what error 400 means actually. We don't use error codes in this detail. Generally, like mostly it's just 200 or 500. It's a bad request. It's nice that Remix is going to teach us a lot of this basic web stuff, the good old web stuff. The hypertext protocol indicates that the server cannot or will not process the request due to something that is perceived to be a client error. For example, malformed request syntax, invalid request message framing, or deceptive request routing. The client should not repeat this request without modification. This makes sense to me. Yeah, looks like a correct error. Was the input uncontrolled? I'm not sure what you mean by uncontrolled. So input we're giving. Okay, what is happening with this ref? I didn't check this. Okay, this is just for selecting it. So when action message changes, it selects it. I don't know what select does in JavaScript. Um, I mean, like a local state. Was input uncontrolled? Like a local state. It wasn't uncontrolled in a sense. So it didn't require state here, right? Because it just took the form data and made the request. So it didn't need any of the state part of it. We didn't have to do it ourselves at least. Looks like the form is doing this for us. So form is probably like getting all this data and making the post requests, which we see here. So I made this post request with payload or answer. All right. So actions page looks clear. This was interesting one. The form is pretty interesting. I can change the action here, right? So if I let me just mess up, will it really make send request? So get as well. Then it should be sent as a URL param. Let's see. So now it should be sending a get request with URL params to my website. Looks like it tried to visit a page that does not exist. Oh, it tried to, okay, yeah, it tried to redirect me there. Yeah, makes sense. Why did it try to redirect though? We have HTTPS here. So what happens if I want to fetch data? If I want to pass this data to an API, so I don't really want to redirect to that API. We'll check the forms documentation first. Actually, check the forms documentation. This looks interesting. Is there search here? Doesn't look like. We can search on Google. Oh, this is not the response that I was expecting. Remix.js form. Okay, it will probably take some time to um, come on Google. Where is form? Where is form? It's hard. Is that form here? Yeah, there is form here. So this looks like the example that we just saw. Method post. It doesn't have any actions, so it is the data is going to come here. I'm actually trying to look for a form that has action. Um, okay, so the redirect happened. Understood. So, okay, this is exactly what we were doing here, right? We were calling that API and we were seeing if the answer is correct or not, and then we were redirecting it. So it looks like that action equivalent to me. I linked it in the chat about the form documentation. I don't see the link, but yeah, looks like we're redirecting it after checking things here. So I can still redirect to saurabhdari.com. Oh wait, is it because I made the method post? My The usual web knowledge is pretty weak now. I'm used to doing things the React way, and this is teaching me a lot of HTML. Oops. I got to the link. Oh yeah, I don't see the link. But yep. Anyway, cool. I'll probably have to explore this more because I don't understand the action yet. I'm trying to think about the use cases that we've been handling from React, and I guess I'm trying to replicate them in Remix. So that might be difficult because this the form especially looks like the way of doing things in form looks like very HTML way. So I might have to check that once. So yeah, this actually makes sense to me. This looks nicer actually. So we don't even have to write the JS code for fetch and all that JS code of fetching APIs and getting the response. So we have the code for we just have to write code for here. This is probably executed on server. Yeah, it is executed on server where we just check validate. So this itself becomes like an API. Nice. So yeah, I like Remix. So it looks like the server parts are very attached. Like I don't think so. We can use Remix without server. It won't even make sense actually because that's the whole point of Remix. But yeah, so yeah, actions is fine. Params. Okay, one thing I still didn't understand was we have routes directory here. We have demos directory here. So we had this demos and about. This is fine. When I say demo slash about, does it take me to this about? No, it doesn't, because it just has this part, which is this part. It rather takes me to this about.jsx, where we are like adding style sheet and doing things, and we have outlet, and outlet seems to be handling the nested routes, so it understands. Okay, so it understands that this is index. This nested route is index, and if I change it to var, then it just outlet takes care of that nested routing. So this looks like equivalent to writing a lot of React routers switch components everywhere. But yep, this looks like a nicer way where you just say outlet and whatever that makes sense based on route will be rendered. So yep, this is like nested routes. Then we have params here. In params, how do we call the params? Let's go to home page. URL params and error boundaries. It's user ID. So we can then use start over param one. Let's see param one, param two. This will be 404. 401 unauthorized. This will throw an error. Okay, let me make a guess on how the code will look depending on what I know about Remix so far. So I'm guessing we have this params.js, and we'll probably have this checks of 1, 2. Um, and I'm going to bet on maybe we just send these 404 errors directly as a response from the same file. And this 1.2 will be where we just directly render things. And start over is just the home page. So this is the params with ID. Okay, there is index.js first. Let's see this first. So I'm guessing index.js is yep this one, and this has just all the information. Then we have param one. This is probably where it is coming from. So we have params ID. The record does not exist. Yep, it's giving response directly from here. I like that how close the front end and back end is becoming with this. It's like the same code base, and I'm not really thinking of it as this part is front end and this part is back end. It's more like okay, this is the app, and this part this is I just respond with 404 and it just takes care of it, and it's the server. So I like this. We have loaded here. So yep, we have not found 404, unauthorized 401. Oh, it gives this lol function. I'm just going to try that. Kaboom. Lol is not defined. Isn't it cool that the user gets to stay in context and try a different link in parts of the UI that didn't blow up? It's nice. I'm just confused a bit here. So this lol is not defined. Where is this? Oh, is it client? Okay, it's not the client error, it's a server error. It just gave this error message here. And where is this coming from? Isn't, yep, it's coming from here. And we have error handling here, right? Okay, yeah, this makes sense. This is similar to when we saw in root, where we have catch boundaries and we can do things with it. So this is actually pretty useful because like even at work we've been writing SSR, and like one issue that we just try come across a lot, not exactly an issue, but like a lot of times you just have to write multiple try catch blocks because you don't want your server to fail in any case, even if there is any error or front end error or any system failures or anything. The server crashing is like the absolute worst, so you just want your server to be running even though if there is some error. So if like normally in normal frameworks that we have currently, I would expect this low server to fail here with some low list undefined error here. But yeah, it didn't fail. It just printed the error. Yep, it's global error handling. Not exactly global. This is actually pretty cool. It's not global error handling. It's more like a local error handling, where you just handle errors for this particular page. Because global error handling is here in the root.jsx where we saw this. So if we don't handle it there, it will probably come here. Let's actually try that. Let's skip that error handling. So it was here, right? There was a problem. Which error was that? This one. Hmm. Okay, this is like a default error. What happens if I just don't return anything? Did it break? Looks like it did break. So maybe there is like some code that I want to pass to global, or maybe the global comes first. I'm not sure. So I was expecting if I remove this, I would expect to this error to the root error to be thrown. But yeah, I'm not sure why that didn't happen. Maybe I'm messing something up, or so we have 401 here, 404 here, default one is here. You just decide message over here. This is cool. Is the error also coming in server? Because let me just restart the server. I want to see if this error that we're throwing here, does it is it also printed here? It looks like it is. That's interesting. So it's more of a warning then I guess because the server is still running. Server didn't fail. It also printed this nice error message. So it looks like more of a warning than error, or maybe just things don't fail on error, and that's just the thing. Maybe I'm not sure. Yep, that makes sense. Just give me a second. Let me turn on my lights. Couldn't server be failing terrible? Like for error, a runtime server crashed. Yep, that's how it happens right now in the other frameworks. Like I'm not sure about these server-side frameworks like Next.js and Gatsby, but generally, if you try to build something with React SSR, things just fail. Even in general, on server, if there's some runtime error, then server just crashes and everything goes down. So in code bases, generally we have to write a lot of try catches just to make sure that things don't just randomly go down and things are just still running even if there's some error. So yeah, this is actually interesting. It will protect things from going down. It's like by default protected from going down. Oh, one second. There is this error boundary. Oh, wait. I was seeing the wrong error message the whole time. So isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? It looks like it is coming from here because we are also console dot we are also doing this console dot errors. So that is the error that is printed, I believe. Let's try something. Hi, yes. The print hi yes now. It's over. Yep, this is correct. Okay, this makes sense now. Interesting. So we have this error boundary. Where is this? Where we are using it? We're not using it anywhere. It looks like error boundary. I'm confused between error boundary and catch boundary now. Like, why would you need two different things? Isn't that the same thing? We have catch boundary where we say case 401. Let's go through documentation. Is this not found guide as in not found guide, or was it supposed to be a 404 guide? Not sure. Error boundary. Okay, an error boundary is a React component that renders whenever there is an error anywhere on the route. Cool. So that's particular to that route, either during rendering or during data loading. Nice. And what is catch boundary then? Yep, catch boundary is that renders whenever an action or loader throws a response. Okay, makes sense. So error boundary is something that it catches that error with rendering or some runtime errors. And catch boundary looks like something that catches errors on these responses when we respond something incorrectly. So, for example, if I do 404, it goes into 404, right? So if I go 404, there was a problem with your request. This is the same error message, right? There was a problem with your request. Looks like it tried to visit a page that does not exist. Okay, it's 404 of page. Yes, yes. Let's try this as well, just for fun. It didn't work. Okay, let's actually debug why this didn't work. That will be fun. We can console log parent.id here. Okay, it is giving 401, so it did work actually. It gave 401, and we can check the response here. Okay, it gave you HTML response. That makes sense. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Here it's written that it's JSON with 401. Again, we can't render the component if the user isn't authorized. You can even put data in the response that might help the issue, like email the webmaster for access to the page. JSON is just a response helper that makes it easier to send JSON response. Was it expected to send JSON response? What if I just change the status code here to 200? Did it work? It still gave me the HTML page. So it's more like a root request. I'm not sure if I understand this. So my confusion is if it's saying JSON here. Oh wait, it's throw JSON. I thought it's return. So it throws the error. So throw. I'm guessing it's the error, right? So I'm not sure what we're doing with this email, but right now it is throwing status. So if we throw things here, what happens? This is the loader. This is where we're supposed to respond from. The good part is things didn't fail. Things didn't go down, even if we're throwing things here. It seems like the entry request. So things are not going down. If we throw from here, then we just render a 401 page. Okay, one second. So we have this error message. This what we got? There was a problem with your request. This is what we got. I was confused. When do we get this? Okay, okay. It so we are getting this in server. Cool. We are getting this on server. So the status 401. It will come here. Looks like you tried to visit a page that you do not have access to. Maybe ask the webmaster. So I'm confused. Where is this message coming? Isn't it? Oh, no, one second. It shouldn't go to, it will go to default if we don't have break here, right? Is this like some bug? Something that was left out? Okay, now we get this. Now we get this. This one makes more sense to me. Was it missed out in the code of like scaffolding project? There was no break in switch keys. Oh yeah, that just figured that out. Okay, cool. Again, if anyone wants to go contribute to remix, we have one thing here. Maybe ask in issues if this is expected. I don't look like it doesn't look like it is expected. We're finding a lot of issues in scaffolded project. Nice. We have meta. Yep. So overall, I like this route system. Let's create one test route now. Test.jsx. I'm going to go to about.jsx. Okay, this is expect. Let's copy meta. And we will need one export default function index. This okay. Wait. His copilot is giving me a lot of code. We don't want this much. Will this work? Yep, it is working. Nice. Yep, that looks like a bug. The break one. Okay, so this is the overall structure. We export default, and this becomes your root, not root. This becomes your page, and we are getting this navbar and footer. So it is coming from root, and I'm guessing there will be some outlet component here. So where is this navbar coming from? Okay, this is where it comes from. It's a layout component. And where is layout component used? Here it is used. Layout. So where is the children of layout? Yep, children is rendered over here, and that is what we see here. Yes. Yep, that explains it. I think this create remix app is pretty good to explore things. So it did cover the form part and actions. There is some usual routing and this nested routing. This nested routing CSS. I'm still not sure how the CSS and JS stuff would work because it looks like we're not exactly bundling things here in CSS. So it might be because this is like just hello world application. There might be some more complicated use cases. We can check them out later. But yeah, I'm confused about CSS. But overall, this looks nice to me. Uh, I'm pretty used to this structure. Like I've gotten used to this structure now. Now that I've seen it in multiple places where you just export default your React component, you export meta, you export loader. Loader is looks like the data loader, like the data, so you can respond with data. Guides routing. I just want to see what all these things are called. Is there any specific terminology where I can just basically I'm looking for a documentation page which will explain me what all I can export from here because this looks like a named export and it will not work if I just change the names here. So yeah, you can check that in documentation later. I'll just go through documentation. We have remix package, components and hooks. Also, where are we using React in this? Okay, I don't see React used directly. It's probably just for these React.create elements. So this will convert into React.create element. Can I use React hooks? So if I do, I'm used to require.js now. I've been working on Node. Use state. Let's try use state. Counter, set counter. Yep. Thanks, Copilot. Button has no corresponding. Whoops. Count. That should work because we are actually using React. We are importing React. Don't need this. Okay, what was the page? It was test. Ups. I didn't print it anywhere. Uh, yep. So we can do React things in this. Conventions under docs. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we didn't check the remix.config.js. We can check that out. So we have app directory routes. Then wait, is this? Mhm. Yeah, this page looks like it has all the things that we can export, the named exports. So that's a nice place where you can just see what all you can do from the remix component. Thanks, Shubham. Is there anything else we can do? This taglets project also looks same. Yeah, it's same. Yeah, but same only. So you can explore on Stackblitz if you want. It should be it. Just yeah, just want to see this. Let's go to types actually. So we have app directory, cache directory, cache directory. That's new. So we can cache routes, cache. Okay, yeah, I guess it's the cache directory as in the node modules cache directory. So we have app directory app here. We can change this. Nice. Then we have browser build directory. This becomes the build. Public path is build. So the assets go here and some bundled code. Then we have server build directory, same build, and dev server port. That's interesting. We have dev server port 8002 here. Then why is it running on 3000? Is it also running on 8002? Nope, it's not running on 8002. Anyway, is this a bug as well? We're finding way too many bugs, man. Okay, this is probably the cache directory that they're talking about in configs. Defaults to cache. Okay, I want to check how fast is the build because it's ES build, so I'm guessing it's super fast. How to build it? How to build it? npm run build. 295 seconds. That's amazing. The production build in 295 seconds. Yeah, source maps here. Where did the code go though? Yes, CSS files, which will be directly linked. ss.json. Or did it put things inside index.js? Yeah, looks like it. Nice. It's pretty fast. Yes, but it is amazing. Yeah, I don't think so. We missed anything. Like we probably missed a lot of things, but I don't think so. We can cover it on stream. We'll probably have to go through documentation. I'm probably just going to cover these things when I need a remix. Currently, this was just exploration. There is accessibility guide, which links to w3.org. Yeah, I'm guessing the routing is nice here, so it's pretty sorted for accessibility for at least the routing part. React routers, E6, WebFetch API. Yep, we can check these documentations later. I guess that's it from mine. Is there anything that you all want to check out before we stop the stream? Yep, I don't think so. I missed anything. We can close now. Thanks, Nidhi. Thank you so much for coming. Yep. Bye.